Hello, kings, queens, and the rest yes. It's me, Tracy. Before we get started, I have a little announcement. I designed a shirt for Raw, and it's on sale starting today. If you would like to own one of these shirts, there will be a link in the description. I have to sell 10 shirts for these to get made. I believe they are serigraph printed, so the quality of the print should be great. And I will be paid based off of the number of shirts sold, so if you like my work, this will directly support me. Anyways, I was pretty busy last month, so I wasn't able to make nearly as much art as I would have liked. I'm involved in 2 projects right now, both of which are not super postable, so I mostly disappeared. One of these projects will still take up a lot of my time for the next 6 months and probably longer than that. Hopefully, I'll be posting a lot more on my social media starting this month. I make icons for my websites I call the Calendar Girls, and they feature femme presenting anthropomorphic rabbits because rabbits are a big part of my brand. So I made one for August because, August was coming up at the time, and I ended up really liking how this bunny looked. She's like this pink and black alti girl with a lot of heart motifs, and I just thought she'd make a great pinup. I don't draw a lot of anthros with hair very often. The only times I want to draw hair on anthros is when it makes sense for their species or breed. And recently I have discovered that there is a rabbit breed called the lionhead rabbit, and I sent a photo of it to my furry friend and said, this would make a great anthro. A lionhead rabbit, of course, would have hair. I think she came out really cute. She reminds me of the mom from Home Improvement. Hopefully there's some sitcom fans watching who understand what I'm talking about. I do not know that much about the history of pinup photography, but when I think pinup, I think very 50s. So this image is based off of my uneducated idea of what 50s aesthetics look like. She's very rockabilly more than actual 50s fashion. She's serving greaser. I've always been a big fan of feminine takes on 50s alternative fashion. I got really into the background of this image as well. It wasn't my original intention for it to be as complex as it ended up being, but I was also inspired by my uneducated understanding of 50s aesthetics when it came to decor. And decor from that time period has always felt really frilly and girly to me, and that seemed to fit this character very well. After everything I've been doing lately behind the scenes, it was actually quite nice just to do some compositional art. I've been loving what I've been doing lately, but at the end of the day, portraiture, figure, and compositional work is what I originally fell in love with, and it's my real passion. I think that's all I have to say. I'm gonna let the rest of the video play.